Hey guys, my name is Patch and I am here today with Kerrie and Tina, and we are talking about how to build a business online within the fitness industry. Stick around. Hey guys, how are you today?
Awesome.
Good.
Yeah, doing well.
Good. So we've got a ton of stuff to talk about with you girls. You have a ton of stuff going on. So
We're busy.
So you've got a whole fitness business that you're launching online. You guys actually do stuff in brick and mortar locations, and you're doing stuff on other platforms throughout the web. So you guys are a million different places all at once. So just real quickly, why don't you tell me how you kind of got into the fitness industry, both of you, and kind of how you ended up working together.
Yeah, cool. So I personally just started actually doing physical therapy. I was working as a PTA assistant. When I started to really get interested in training clients, I started doing a little bit on the side, and I just found like I was so much more passionate about helping people in a more preventative way versus, injured and not necessarily always voluntarily. So that was what just sparked my interest in fitness and kind of took off running from there.
Nice.
So I guess I started being really interested in health and fitness and the whole bit after college. I had, graduated and did the 9-to-5 job, went to a lot of happy hours, drank a lot of beer, ate a lot of nachos, and I just had gained a lot of weight and just wanted it off. So I just really got into nutrition and food and the whole bit, and I started a blog to keep me accountable.
Yeah.
And that blog just took off, and I've been doing it 9.5 years now, and I just love connecting with people online and in person now more. I just love writing about food and fitness and wellness and everything that goes along with it.
And we'll talk about your blog a little bit more in a minute, but I find it interesting that you say that you did that as a way to keep yourself accountable. That's I don't think I've heard anybody say that before. So what was the thought? I mean, what were you writing before in like college or anything like that? Was it just something that you were like, I'm going to start a blog one day?
Yeah. Well, it was kind of like that. So I had been reading blogs. There were a few blogs that were very similar out there online, and I had been following them. I was doing the 9-to-5, so I was sitting at a desk for a long time every day and just following these blogs. I just thought it was such a cool way to, keep track of things. And prior to that, I had a binder just filled with like recipes and workouts, literally just like paging through stuff. And I just thought it would be a cool way to keep myself on track and organize everything. And then I hoped people would follow it. I was hoping I would get followers. And I mean, almost immediately, people started leaving me comments, asking me questions, and like, at that point, I was like, wow, I really do have to stay on track. I can't let myself go at this point. I have people like reading every day. So it just took off after that.
And you're a great writer. I mean, I've read a lot of your blogs, and it's the way you write is not just informational, but it's also you also do it in a way that other people can see themselves in that position. And you've expanded it through your whole family too, which is kind of unique. I don't think anybody that I've seen does it like that. But how did you come up with that idea? Was it just you needed something to write one day?
Yeah, well, that was the thing. My blog started very much as a journal. It was just kind of like, here's what I ate. This is a workout I did. Ta-da, and then I don't know. The more I added about my life, the more response and feedback I got from my followers. So it just kind of snowballed into more of a lifestyle, and then how the food and the fitness fit in, and I think just people could relate to that.
Yeah, and just to kind of let people know what kind of traffic that you're getting off of this, you're getting like thousands and thousands of people to come to that blog, and you've actually been able to monetize that too, correct?
Yeah.
So let's see. We got your side, we got your side. So how did you guys get together? So how did that come about?
Well, it's so funny too. Like before I ever even met Tina, I think I told you this. I was like looking up a cookie recipe, and of course she came up because she's like right at the top of the internet. And I remember going on her page and I seen pictures of Mal and I call him Mugs, but
everyone recognizes Mal.
Yeah, and I remember thinking, because I really knew nothing about blogs at the time. I was like, awesome cookie recipe. I'm like, this is kind of crazy. Like this whole blog thing. So I'm like just having that on there. I never saw that before, but I remember thinking, like, I guess it's kind of like the same reason why people read like People magazine and like they just love like to kind of follow that life, that story. So then I think like a couple months later, I actually, we met through CrossFit. So we went to the gym together, and we just became fast friends because we were definitely at the same level of fitness, even though I was probably a little bit.
I could beat you at workouts, Ben. I really
so
could.
We were always like toe to toe in the workout. It was, just good competitors, like super fun. We had a great relationship from the start. And so that just evolved. Like our friendship definitely started from the fitness level. We just, started doing runs together and hanging out together and drinking together and going to each other's, parties, whatever. And then, from there, it spawned into the business life too.
Yeah, which is funny that you said that because I'm sure that you feel like when you meet people that have seen your blog or, when they talk to you, you've got to have the feeling like, holy crap, are these people stalking me? Because they know everything. Like, I know exactly what your son's room looks like.
Right.
Like
what she had for breakfast.
Exactly. I know
everything.
So it's that's kind of got to be unique in that. But so let's fast forward a little bit more, and you guys decided to start a business together, and just kind of give me a little understanding of how that came to be.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we were friends and we would go out and we'd have some drinks. And I feel like we always kind of talked about having some sort of business together. And I mean, food was the big thing I think we connected on is that, we like to eat healthy food a lot of the time, but we also like to go out and dine out and have the good food and the appetizers and the drinks and all that good stuff. So it just, I don't know, it just kind of made sense. We had a lot of the same food philosophies and values when it came to food. So it just kind of naturally mixed there. And then we were like, let's do this meal planning business. But Kerrie already had been doing nutrition at KFIT and she just wanted to scale that. You were doing pen and paper kind of at the start.
So you said KFIT. What's KFIT?
So that's my gym.
Okay. All right.
Just flip that in there.
Yeah. Okay. So, so you're running a full-time gym.
Yeah.
Now you're deciding to do DTFN.
Yeah.
Design to Fit Nutrition. And you guys actually did something really cool, which was you created some videos of how to kind of eat on the go, even at places that most people wouldn't. So
the best
tell me about that.
Yeah, that was, I think, probably another wine conversation, right?
Well, we were in San Diego.
Oh, right on,
And think, it's like a bug on me. We were in San Diego and we were somewhere and you were actually joking about it. You were like, there's like so many shitty choices here. Like what's like the best shitty choice out of these choices?
Yeah.
And it just kind of like spun from there. Like, oh, we should go to places that don't have the healthiest choices, but then steer people in the right direction. What would be the best shitty choice?
Yeah. So some of these are really funny. So I have seen some, like I thought, was it Tasty Freeze or something?
Oh, Dairy Queen. Yeah.
So you did Dairy Queen, and it was really cool. You guys, in the vlog, you basically break down different parts of the menu and say, okay, well, this one is okay, but it's not great. And you basically give a list of, what's the best, shittiest choice, right? Is it the best shitty choice or the best shittiest choice?
We mix it up, but it's shitty, right? Yeah. I say it wrong all the time.
It could be either, but
the other thing when we're doing it too, we don't want to be like just go for like the lowest calorie or whatever. Like it's also has to be somewhat tasty and good. Right. So so that's the other thing. But it does stick with you. Like I was just away on vacation. I was like starving. We were on our way to the airport. I'm like, I could go to McDonald's because I know what the best shitty choices there. Like, so it definitely, because you're going to be in that scenario. So it's just kind of cool to like have that in your head.
Have an option.
Yeah. So this is really cool. So just a few more examples of what you guys are doing. You did like protein bars. You did ice cream. You did. Give me some more of the things that you've done.
What have we launched so far? We did
Panera.
Yeah, In-N-Out was a really good one. I like that one. I was shocked to see how much was in like the fries.
So that's something that's really, really difficult for people to do. I know a lot of people, and you probably hear this from people coming into the gym, is business people, entrepreneurs, people that people in sales, real estate. They're constantly in their car. They're constantly going appointment to appointment to appointment. And it's really hard to eat on the go and still be healthy. And not only that, but it gets really, really expensive too. So you guys kind of help out in that realm too, which is really cool. So I want to kind of understand how you guys decided or why you thought it would be a good business model to go after a business that is already in an area that a lot of people is super saturated. And, you know, the fitness industry right now, it's like everybody's an expert, right? And if you're in the industry, you know that a lot of those people aren't actually experts. But what actually got you guys to say, okay, this is the niche we're going to go for. This is what we're going to do?
Well, first things first, I don't even feel like we're experts by any means. I think that we're just like real, you know what I mean? So it's super hard to relate to somebody who's like, all you have to do is eat a handful of almonds and, you know, run a flight of stairs. And so I think that was like, there's just like two levels. It's like all or nothing and no balance. And we really kind of wanted to like fill that void. We definitely thought there was just the missing piece with being prepared to eat healthy, just the meal prep. That's really the connection that was missing. And then also on the other end, again, just like that all or nothing. Like if I'm on a diet or I'm trying to lose weight or trying to get stronger, it has to be boring and it has to be restrictive. So that's kind of where we thought we could kind of cruise in and really just be successful.
And then also I think when it comes to that healthy living and diets and everything, people make it like too complicated. So I think for us, we really do try to, you know, simplify things. We provide a grocery shopping list so people just take that right to the grocery store. We do all the meal planning for them. And then our recipes really are straightforward and pretty simple. And like Kerrie said, we're big on the meal prep. So just prepping it ahead of time. So, you know, when it's Wednesday night and you're starving, you can just pop something in the microwave or just prep something real quick and you know, have dinner instead of like grabbing takeout or whatever. Like you know that there's food in the fridge waiting for you. So really just making it livable for people.
So you guys are taking into consideration a lot of things that I don't think people had before, but do you also take in like price, price considerations for less expensive meals? Is that something you guys do, or?
I mean, we build it towards people's lifestyle. So a big part of that is like understanding where they're coming from and like where they're food shopping. So we're big advocates of like certain stores that are a lot less expensive. And then also just the way that we kind of plan the whole meal. We give them 3 days that they're going to alternate for 7 days. And what that does, it just like helps really cut in half the price point with shopping and then also the preparation. So in that sense, we definitely are always kind of, I would say the first shop is always a little bit of, you know, you're filling your cupboards, you're getting the things that you probably maybe weren't using before, but as you start to go, it gets much more cost effective and easier.
Because we're not having people make 7 different breakfasts, 7 different lunches, you know what I mean? So it cuts down on the amount of ingredients that you have. And we do try to incorporate things, again, like we were talking the other day, like, you know, if you open a can of pumpkin, you don't want it to go to waste. So we'll put pumpkin in like a couple recipes, you know, so they're not wasting food that way.
No, that's awesome. What about like, let's say, you know, Healthy Mom sees your recipes. Is this something that people can do for their whole family at the same time, or is this individual meals, or is it a combination of both?
Yeah, I mean, totally. I mean, we make the meal plan for the client specifically, but a lot of times it ends up that, you know, a spouse or the family or whoever loves the meals too. We do a lot of batch cooking too, like the prepping ahead of time and everything. So if we make like a big pizza casserole, the whole family's going to eat it, which is really nice.
Yeah, usually the husbands lose more weight just by default.
Because they're eating all the food too.
But I actually just had one of my clients send me a picture of like her meal, and she's like, and my little guy's loving it too, and she sent me a picture of him. So obviously we're not building meals for 2-year-olds, but it does kind of happen, which is cool. It's great for like the moms to have it. It makes their lives easier, and then also their little ones are eating things that they would have never thought to like give them before. So.
That's awesome. So how did you guys go about figuring out the whole online business? Like, how did you figure out how to launch it, and you know, how's that working out for you?
I think we're still figuring it out, you know.
It's working.
Yeah, it's working. We definitely, you know, we're learning as we go. Neither of us have really been in the space, although Tina more than me. And I think the combination between KFIT and then Carrots and Cake, the platform, like that's just been so great and just getting us out there. But I think it's, we're kind of learning as we go with it, for sure. We just actually hired a business mentor because we always think having everyone, you know, you need a coach and people have paved the path. So it's not like we're recreating the world. We're just trying to figure out, you know, how to do it. So
so we actually were talking about this earlier, and I kind of want to bring it back up, and I want you to try to say what you said earlier because I thought it was really cool. A lot of people, they feel like they have to have something exactly perfect before they launch, right? Instead of, you know, kind of launching the beta version and just getting into market. So can you talk to me just a little bit about that and how, you know, what your mindset is? We know you're putting out a good product. Like, I've seen it. All the stuff is good. But what's your thoughts on, you know, the systems and all that kind of stuff? What's your thought on getting things out to market?
Yeah. I think if you wait for perfect, you would probably never launch a business, you know? I definitely do. And it's really more about, like, just kind of going and then learning to pivot. You know, if something isn't working, like, change directions. Like, lucky for us, there's just been such a need for the one-on-one coaching, and that's what we've really been able to provide. And people are just, like, so drawn to that, having that communication with the coach. So it hasn't been, other than, like, we've just been overwhelmed with, like, work. It hasn't been like a big, tons of road bumps. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And we also built it from the ground up. I mean, Kerrie started on pen and paper, then we had Excel spreadsheets, and then we had the software. So, I mean, I think it's just like that momentum and just not missing the opportunity to grow. And we just, you know, keep changing and doing new things. And we have more enhancements coming to the software any day now. We just tested them out yesterday.
Oh, you guys are on fire. I mean, every time I turn around, you guys are launching something else and you're doing something else and you're adding more stuff. And it really is cool to see you guys not be scared to try something new.
Yeah.
Right. Even the podcast.
Sometimes we're scared.
We're a little scared.
Well, I mean, and I think the dynamic between the two of you is probably what helps you get through those things because you're doing it together.
Yeah.
And you kind of will each other into doing certain things. So just kind of talk to me a little bit about that. Are there things that you just can't get over? Like, are you too scared to do some things? Or?
Yeah. I think that we both just have so much faith in it, and I think that's the biggest thing. And I mean, if you listen to anyone who's been successful, like, you have to be passionate about what you're doing, what your product is, and that is 100% what keeps us driven and be able to say, like, holy shit, we're going to make this huge jump because we have so much faith in it. And I think that Tina and I definitely even each other out because she's much more, like, reserved, think about it. I'm like, go, go, go. So, like, combined, we kind of balance. She pulls me back when I need to be pulled back, and I pull her head when, you know, we need to be pushed ahead. So,
yeah.
No, that's awesome. It's really cool to see that. So, where did you get the first couple of customers? Like, everybody, like, we had guinea pigs, right?
Yeah.
Every business eventually gets to the point where they have, or I guess starts off at the point where they have to have guinea pigs, right? So how did that work for you guys? How did you get your first client?
It was the KFIT crew.
Yeah,
on the
oh my God,
spreadsheets.
yeah. So I definitely, I started with 2 of my girls at KFIT. Shout out to my girls because they're always my guinea pigs. And then it just kind of snowballed once they caught on there. So I think that kind of drove the first part of our launch was KFIT. And then once we went to really design to fit and pulled from there, and then Carrots and Cake has been, you know, so many of Tina's fans and followers have been our next guinea pigs, I guess. And now we just have proof of concept because we have so many success stories, and, you know, beyond, like, the scale and everything else, we have so many great stories. So
yeah. So when you guys have kind of gotten this little cult following. It's like, it's kind of impressive to see. but you guys have gotten enough core people to go out and start talking about your stuff that they're referring people much faster than what you originally thought. So, or maybe you did think that. What? How is that working? Like, did you expect that to happen?
I mean, I think that's what we hoped for, but I mean, it works for so many people. I mean, we have such great success stories. I mean, obviously, like on the scale, people who lose like a great amount of weight, but they learn all these wonderful lifestyle habits.
Yeah.
And then even we've been really big on the off the scale victories too, because you know, sometimes the scale does say a lot about what's happening, but at the same time, like you could be doing so much better in the gym. Like you could learn a new recipe that your family likes. There's so many of those off the scale victories, and people just want to share that with their friends and family. So I think it just travels. So many people have had success with it.
Yeah. And I love like our Facebook. We have a private members group, and there's always just like such positive things happening on there. Like we don't even, see like a ton of like weight loss pictures, but there's just like supporting each other, people like asking for help, people just living like putting like bright spots of like whatever happened from their week on there. I think that is just it's like a little community, like you said. It just is starting to be like this cool little community. So
and I think it also it kind of has a side effect, whether known or whether you guys knew it originally or not, but it has this neat little side effect for your business model, because it keeps people continuously coming back for that positive reinforcement from a whole group of people. So what would you say about Facebook groups? Is that something that,
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, our group is for anybody that's ever done a plan. So even people that have finished plans are in that group. And it's just a great place to get ideas and motivation. And it's also just fun to see people be like, oh, I tried this new product at, Trader Joe's. And like everyone like leaves comments being like, oh, I'll have to look for those zucchini noodles or whatever it is. It's just like people get excited about the new healthy lifestyle and the new diets and things like that.
So do you guys interact with the group too?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
is that a full-time job or what?
I mean, it's definitely a lot of work for sure. But I don't want to say work. It's definitely, it's a part of what we do because we want to stay involved, and I think it's a big part of what like differentiates us from like other meal plan services is, you're getting a face, you're getting people that you can relate to on like a day-to-day level. So that's definitely...
and our coaches are really involved. The same thing. They'll, post a recipe that they just made and they loved, or, ask like a question, what's your favorite RX bar? And everybody kind of weighs in. So there's a lot of interaction between the staff and the clients.
Yeah.
And because you're putting them in a Facebook group, though, is you have figured out a way to remain scalable and, dump thousands or hundreds of thousands of people in there and still be able to communicate.
Exactly.
On a really large scale.
Right.
You couldn't do that if you were, trying to answer everybody on a, some other method like email. Right. It just wouldn't happen. Right. So that's really cool that you guys have set that up. So if you guys do other business ventures in the future, do you plan to incorporate Facebook groups into that?
Oh God,
yeah.
Every single one. I mean, like with KFIT, we have a private members page, which it just goes. I mean, it's really priceless for the community because it provides motivation, support, all that stuff. So when we launch our next phase, we'll definitely have just a support group, because I always think it's better to do things in teams. Like, you can learn so much from other people, even if they're your competitors. So having that like support system it's really just, you can't put a price on it. So we'll definitely be continuing that even with the next phase for sure.
So you said something else that's interesting, and I've been on a couple of groups where almost inadvertently you start picking up like ad hoc admins, where it's the people that are constantly on there and they start learning your product a lot, so they start answering other people's questions.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. So it's almost like a force multiplier for you inside of the group.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, before about the Facebook group. It's like a lot of times like our clients are like doing our work for us because they're coming up with great products, or someone has a question and before we even get on there, like our clients are answering it. So it definitely is.
Yeah. I love the where can you find the Power Grain waffles?
Yeah.
That whole thing.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, I saw them at Stop and Shop in Weymouth. It's like so funny. It's just everyone's like on it.
Yeah. So how far out are you expanding now? I mean, so we know you kind of like started local, but then, you know, friends, family, other people started coming in. So do you know how far your reach is yet?
Germany?
I think so. We definitely have a few people in Europe, Canada.
Yeah.
Do we have someone in Australia?
Australia.
Yeah. So
you're worldwide.
We're international.
Well, international.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So do you see it, you know, where do you kind of see this going? I mean, if you're forecasting it out and based off the growth that you guys have had, a lot of success stories, where do you see this going, or where do you want it to go? Either way.
I always say DTF's going to take over the world.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, big. I mean, that's the hope. That's the plan.
So let's talk about that a little bit. You have, I mean, I said it before, but you've made a product that is completely scalable.
Yeah.
Like there's no point where you guys have to tap out and say, look, we can't take but 350 members, or we can't take but 500 members.
No. I think the coolest thing, like with Design to Fit, and that's kind of why we launched Nutrition House, which is, you know, we can talk about that in a minute, but the ability to provide job opportunity has like been something that like when we sat down, we're like, we want to do meal plans to help people.
Yeah.
Like that was our number one, you know, goal. And now what's happening is we're developing this awesome team of registered dietitians, and you know, we have one of our team members just left her, you know, full-time job. Yeah. She's now working remote. So we're actually kind of creating this cool like job opportunity for people, and that to me has like propelled just this whole other kind of like love for what we're doing. And I think that's what I see Design to Fit being, is just kind of growing as this entity and be able to provide opportunity for not only to help clients, you know, find a healthier lifestyle, but also give women the ability to work from home and do that, you know, do what they love more. So
this is kind of cool. So let's just kind of break it down a little bit. You have the core group of people that you're building for DTFN at the top. Then you also have an affiliate program for gyms, gym owners, right? Yep. So they can provide the service. And then you also are helping the people from the blog, and you're also helping people from the program and the Facebook group. So this thing's got a lot of legs going.
Yeah, totally.
We're busy.
Yeah.
So you know, how is that to manage? You know, are you constantly juggling cats, or is this something that you've kind of figured out how to
I think we're getting there.
Yeah, you just slowly like
more systems.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I feel like it's just like you're just constantly like slowly climbing up the mountain. Like at first you're like in the trenches, and you know, we're doing all the meal plans and we're doing everything, and then we get a couple team members under us, so we get to step up a little bit, you know, and then just delegate some stuff, and it's just constantly like that. Like we're just constantly moving up, you know. But it's gotten at this stage like we're like not. January was very hard.
There's a lot of
we were like, do we want to do this?
It was just crazy.
But now that we have a team, the more we build a team, like just the better it gets. But yeah, there's definitely not, you know, no system. We're just kind of going and growing.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So if you were gonna become the mentor based off of what you know so far, what advice or what one piece of, you know, gold nugget material would you give to somebody that was trying to start an online business?
I would say invest into the company from the get-go. I mean, we spent a good year of it not, you know, taking profit, and what that benefited was our growth, and as fast as it did. From last year, we were, you know, $20,000 in total revenue, and this year we're gonna be at probably closer to 300,000.
Yeah.
So that's been a huge, like, that the investment back into in the beginning stages was important. Like, be willing to grind, be willing to work and do all the work, and because that'll get you to a place where you can develop a team faster. You know, it's going to suck in the beginning, but then you start to get to do more of the things that you want to do in the business. So having the marketing team, having the staff of coaches under us, like, we wouldn't have been able to do that if we didn't spend the first year doing it all ourselves. Yeah.
And I think also just being willing to take risks. We went to this conference, and one of the pieces of advice they gave us was scary is sometimes good, or scary can be good. I think that's what it was. Yeah. And I remember when we talked about the software and we got the initial estimate, and I was just like, no way, like, we can't do this. And like, now that we have the software, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, thank God we did that. Like, how could we have even done anything without the software? So I think just being willing to, you know, take a step forward, take that risk, and, you know, knowing that scary can be good.
Yeah, and so I've heard you guys say you use mentors, you go to conferences. Are you listening to podcasts?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So you guys are really trying to educate yourself along the way. You don't have to necessarily be an expert right this second or going in. Yeah. But you guys have just you know, kind of learned on the fly.
Yeah, and that's a really great point. I think no matter what, unless you're you know, inventing something from scratch, guaranteed there's probably someone out there that has done it, or, you know, can help you. So finding a mentor or finding a company that's doing it right and doing it successful, and just trying to learn that through and through. I think that's definitely, you miss, like, you don't have to go through all the mess ups when you can skip past them because someone else can direct you in like the right path, you know?
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, and it's just smart of you two to understand that, and really, you know, just hire experts, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to be an expert in anything. No. You just have to find somebody that is an expert and then hire them, right? Yeah. And would you say that goes faster? It goes faster that way than just trying to, you know, do everything yourself?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I remember when we were trying to do Facebook ads, the two of us would spend half the day trying to set something up, and we would be so frustrated. And then we found somebody to do it for us, and they've been amazing. They've, you know, converted so many sales for us. So
I always try to say, like, I mean, certain things you just have to do. It's just it's part, because from the get-go, you're not going to be able to afford to hire, you know? So, but if you dread it, then, you know, or you can't see yourself doing it for the rest of your life, then probably a good chance that you wanna find an expert to do it.
Yeah. So so you guys, because you're so busy, how do you balance life, you know, your regular life, and all these business things you have going on? Have you found a healthy medium between those?
Some days not well, some days pretty well.
Yeah, I think honestly, it was funny that, referring back to the conference, we went to this, it was a fitness conference in San Diego. And I think for both of us, that was a little bit of, I don't know, like a transition period, because like for me, like running, you know, KFIT, I've always, like, you just have this like guilt as being a business owner that, like, if you're not working, like, I don't know, someone's going to come and take your business, or like, I had a very hard time like letting things go and having the weekends off and not coming home and hopping on my computer. So when we went there, I remember there was this woman there, and, you know, she was obviously much more successful than us, but she really kind of just talked that story about, you know, not being on the, like, being able to be with her family at night, and how it really took toll on her mentally. And then, you know, she went through this whole process of just, now she, like, you know, a certain time her phone goes off, and she takes every last month of every fourth week off a month. Yeah. So she balanced it. And to me, it was like, you know, I was like, nobody can strive on go all the time. And why is that beneficial to be doing what we love and then also missing out on the other part of what we love, which is our family and friends? Like, that sucks, you know? So I think coming back from San Diego, we both started to set some boundaries where with our clients, with our work, with our staff, like, there's certain times when we just have to turn off, and you got to do that. You do, because it's not worth it if you don't.
So another thing that I've seen you guys do, which I think is really cool, is you do some things together, you do some things separate, and then some things you tag team.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you guys work that out? I mean, there's a lot of people that are in the fitness space that have another partner, but it seems like either they're both always on, or one is off and one is on. So you guys do it much differently than I've seen in the past. So kind of tell me how you work that out. Do you just kind of let it work out?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's so much to do right now that we kind of have to tag team things. We just have to delegate who's going to do what. And I think it just comes to our strength. You know, what Kerrie's better at, she'll take that. What I'm better at, I'll take that. We just kind of divide and conquer a lot of times. I mean, there are some things like big decisions, things like that will both be there. So, and, you know, with the summer vacations, we just kind of make it work.
Yeah. So any final thoughts for people that had businesses inside the fitness industry that you see people struggling on, or any final advice you have?
Well, I would say if you're interested in growing a company like Design to Fit, we are launching a SaaS model, which is definitely it just the exponent has so much potential. So that's kind of where our next phase is, to really help people do what we've already done, right? We've gone through the process. We've done the times, and so now we want to be able to present that, you know, to people who hope and have that same goal. So that's the next step.
Yeah, and our software is awesome, and you can totally customize it to your business needs. And if you're a trainer, health coach, it's awesome, and it will be hopefully ready this fall.
But I would say one of the best things that piece of advice, as far as like if you're looking to do something, I remember when I first went into training, I was like, why would, like, it seems so simple, right? I'm going to open a gym. But in my head, I was like, how am I going to be successful? Like, if you could be successful doing this, why wouldn't everyone do it, right? And the answer is because not everybody has the balls to do it. You know, so many were afraid or reserved. So, and then I remember someone kind of just saying like, hey, you know, there's going to be 100 ice cream shops. You just have to be the best of all the ice cream shops. And that's kind of always stuck with me. Like, you know, just have faith. Don't have fear of like doing it. And then just be the best friggin' ice cream shop that's out there.
Yeah. I also, this is something Kerrie taught me. It's I think when we started this whole Design to Fit thing, you know, I saw it as something awesome, but I don't think I saw like the reach it would have and how big it could grow. And it's almost like that question, like, why not? Like, why can't you do that? And like Kerrie would pitch these things to me, and I was like, software, what? And it's like, why can't you do that? And you just have to think like you can. You just have to figure out how to do it, but not, you know, putting yourself in a box and like really just believing that you can do whatever you want as long as you put your mind to it. A little cheesy, but I just, every time like something comes up, I'm like, well, why can't we do that? Of course we can do that. So just keep pushing forward that way.
Yeah, it's like I said, you guys are fearless. I mean, I don't know if it was like that in the beginning, but since I've known you, it
still
like
isn't.
Every single thing,
still working on it.
Like this was like, there's decisions made, but then we'll probably not sleep. And
So on a day-to-day, do you guys make decisions now much more clearly and easily than you did in the very beginning?
I think now that we've made big choices, we know, like we're so far in, like those bigger decisions are easier to make. There's less of a pull, you know. So
you get better at it as you go along.
I think so. Yeah.
Good.
I hope so.
All right. So this is the part of the show where I get to ask you some rapid fire questions, and you got to answer these pretty quick. So first thing comes to your head, and we're gonna kind of go back and forth here. So describe yourself in 3 words.
My gosh. Loud. High energy and compassionate.
What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
Probably pee. I like
totally.
That's
it's 100% pee.
Yeah,
you pee like a million times a day.
I know. Small bladder.
What is the secret to being happy?
Man, family and friends.
Biggest regret this far in life?
Biggest regret. Oh my gosh.
That's not a fire rapping question.
Biggest regret. Maybe not doing the software sooner.
Good for you. What is success to you?
Success is being able to do what I love every single day.
What makes you smile?
Oh, my family. They're so darn cute.
If you lost everything tomorrow, who would you turn to?
Oh, my fiance.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
What would you do differently if you knew nobody was judging you?
Whew.
That's a good question.
Probably some of the things related to carrots and cake. If I could just write whatever I wanted all the time, that would be great.
Good for you. So who or what have you given up on?
I don't know. I don't think I've given up on anybody.
Who or what have you given up on?
Given up on. Maybe not drinking wine.
Oh, like food wise.
There you go. Okay.
Still gonna drink wine.
So, lastly, questions for both of you. So, how many cans of Monster consumed or energy drinks consumed do you think it would take you to get to $1 million in revenue based off of the energy you provided?
Sure, I have no idea.
Oh my gosh. We figured out there was like 2 cups of coffee in each one.
Yeah.
I still don't know.
10. Yeah, I have no idea.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. I've got Kerrie and Tina with Design to Fit Nutrition. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you have any comments, please list them below. Like, comment, and share on it. We'll see you on the next one.
Hey, thanks so much for checking out this episode of our podcast. If you guys like the content that you just saw, would you do us a favor and go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below? It really helps us know that we're making the right kind of content that you guys want to watch and listen to. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you check out the description box below, we have all of our social media links. Make sure to follow us on Facebook. We post a lot of our behind the scenes stuff and advertisements for podcasts that are coming up. So once again, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next one.